Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today I'm going to talk about whether or not you want to have a big Omega Red. So I've been getting tons of questions lately from people asking whether or not they even want high red stars on their Omega Red. And this question apparently is stemming, I guess there's been other content creators or some sort of discussion about the fact that apparently some people believe you want to keep your Omega Red small and you want to have other members of the Weapon X team larger, and it's all because of an issue with Misty Knight. So this is essentially purely for the Heroes for Hire matchup. So obviously, just to be clear, you would ordinarily want your Omega Red to be large everywhere, right? Because you want to use the character in other game modes. But they're saying for the specific matchup, the concern is here on the Ultimate that on War Defense, she's going to attack the enemy with the highest health, and that attack is going to ability block Omega Red. I'm going to explain why people believe that's an issue. It's a very clever thing to be concerned about. I mean, in other words, I think it shows some concern about the game, understanding of the game to come up with this issue. I'm not sure it's exactly I'm not sure it's something that you guys should actually be concerned with. But so what we're gonna do is I finally got into the test server myself. Scopely had some technical difficulties. We'll just call it that. So they finally got me in there, and I was able to do some testing on my own. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go through this and help you see whether or not this is something you should actually be concerned about. And you could just judge for yourself, okay? And just see the footage. So first of all, here is a attack that I did with the full Weapon X team against Heroes for Hire. And I did over 15 attacks. I didn't record them all, but I did over 15. This is the worst one this is the worst result I ever got. And so, these teams are perfectly equal. These are using test characters. So they're all 4 red stars. They're all 7 yellow stars. So all of the characters on this side on both sides of it have equal red stars and equal yellow stars and equal ISO and everything. So they're perfectly equal. And so one thing that is the case here is I believe that with the passive from Omega Red, so that that Omega Red has equally high health with Sabretooth. So here, I don't know if you noticed earlier, Misty Knight had ability block Sabretooth. So the concern is, well, let's say Omega Red was 7 red stars or 6 red stars or something. Let's say she ability blocked Omega Red. He wouldn't be able to do this flip move right here that's coming up. And that's really what the concern is here. So I paused here specifically so I knew I was going to be talking about this. So this is the big devastating move. So the concern is, okay, this devastating move couldn't happen at this point in the fight. And obviously, as you could tell, this has a very drastic, impact on the fight. Now, as I said, this is literally the worst result I got, and it's a pretty good result for Weapon X. Even though this was, like I said, even though this was this ended up, you'll see, not ideal. This is a pretty impressive result. It's obviously way better than how our current teams do, and really, it's just because, as you can tell, having trauma plus heal block in particular really does a number on them, because what happens is they lose the charges, but they don't heal up, and that's the thing. So the reason I say that this is the worst result is Weapon X actually lost a couple members here. I mean, it's not a perfect showing. It's not a complete dominance. But it's obviously, as you're going to see here in a moment, it's going to be a victory for Weapon X. So this is how the fight's supposed to go. That's when the flip is supposed to happen, or this is how the team is designed to work. I think the expectation is not that Omega Red's going to be ability blocked, okay? So this is sort of our compare, or this is sort of the base case. This is how it's supposed to look. All right. Now, what I'm going to do now, we're going to do this fight over again, and this time, and you can see here, these are the same teams. So same, I can actually go here, and you can actually see how the teams look. So it's seven yellow, 4 reds on both teams, and this is the same attack. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to simulate having Omega Red ability block. So okay, so here you go. Things get started here. He's going to ability block Shang-Chi. Now, and I've heard some people suggest, well, you could just avoid this whole issue by ability blocking Misty Knight. Yes, but for purposes of this, obviously, if I ability blocked Misty Knight, that wouldn't allow us to examine this issue. So I'm ability blocking Shang-Chi, and I really haven't figured out yet what the best way to play this team is. I just was ability blocking Shang-Chi because he's a big problem. He's the biggest threat in the other team. So that's logically who I would ordinarily ability block. So I haven't put a lot of thought into it. It's a pretty easy matchup. Okay, so there you go. She ability blocked Sabretooth. That's what she did the first time. So what am I going to do? Well, Sabretooth's going to have to use his basic because I can't get around that. But then what I'm going to do now is we're going to play the rest of the match normally. Okay, but then when we get to this spot, well, not this one. Okay, so Silver Samurai will do his thing. Okay, and then we got the Iron Fist attack there. Okay, now, instead of doing the flip here, this is where I'd ordinarily do that flip. Instead of doing the flip, I'm just going to basic to pretend that he's ability blocked. So we're going to just pretend that he's ability blocked here, okay? So, okay, oh no. My 7 red star Omega Red got ability blocked. Am I going to lose the fight? They start getting, okay, so things starting not looking super stellar here, right? It looks like the Heroes for Hire team is recovered. They've got the heal block on the Weapon X team. But here's the thing. She clears positive effects. There you go. She clears the positive or the negative effects. So what happened was that move by Lady Deathstrike clears the negative effects, gets them back in the fight. Okay, so now Sabretooth does his thing. And what happens next? Oh, now here we are. Even though he was stunned, that got cleared. We're back with the flip. Boom. So really, I just got to say, I mean, I didn't do this just once. I'm just showing you one, but this gives you a sense of how it goes. This actually went better than one of the other ones. It's really a hard fight to lose. And here's the thing. Ordinarily, as I said in the beginning, you would want your Omega Red to be large, right? In other words, it's kind of counterintuitive to say, like, hey, I actually want this new, a big legendary that I unlocked to be small, right? I want to keep the red star small. It doesn't make any sense. So this is a very, you're going to use them in Dark Dimension, potentially. You may want to use them in some raids someday, and I'll do some other videos about that. You might use them in other teams. You're certainly going to use them to attack other teams because over time, you'll probably use Weapon X to attack other teams in war, right? So there's a lot of reasons why you'd want them to be large. But even for this one matchup against Heroes for Hire, I just think it's overblown. Like, I really appreciate and respect, people who have raised this. I really don't even know who it is. I'm just hearing it secondhand. But I guess all I would just say is, I think it's overblown, and I understand that it can create controversy or whatever. But I don't see it. I would just pull your red stars ordinarily, build your Omega Red ordinarily, and I think you're going to be fine against Heroes for Hire. All right, guys. If you like this video, smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel. If you have comments, questions, whatever, post them below. You can also go to my Discord. That is linked below as well. You can also go to my Twitch stream. That is linked below too.